Welcome back, YouTube. We're into the second phase of the tournament, the elimination bracket. The first matches are being played here with VDP versus LBF. Both games are being played tonight with VDP attacking first and LBF on the defense. Then we're going to swap sides. If you're watching on YouTube, as always, remember to like, remember to subscribe, and be sure to come back for the later videos. Appreciate it. So yeah, this is the first phase of the elimination bracket now. One of these teams will be leaving the ladder tonight, and we'll have to see who it is. VDP on the attack, as always. We're on Stone Offensive 01. That is going to be the first map for this layer. As always, I'm going to make sure people are on the right teams. We've got a few people who mixed up, as always. So let's get them. And we had Ashti. I think I got everyone, so I'm just going to double check. ZZZA. And we are all good. 35-35, perfect. Quickly as possible. As I was saying, VDP is on the attack tonight. Both teams have 700 tickets. This is a Chapter 2 map. A little bit different from the tournament we've seen what we've seen in the tournament so far. The first time we're going to be seeing a Chapter 2 map. The only time we're going to be seeing a Chapter 2 map this tournament. And we've got VDP rolling out of their main base. They are bringing out very quickly some kind of vehicle. Let's zoom in and see what that is. It is a command car. The command car likely dropping off a couple of squad leaders, trying to get into the action as fast as possible. We can see LBF already pouring out over the main first cap, trying to set up defensive positions. They've got a squad that's gone up into the mountains. Open up the map, you can see squad 2 has gone up into position 42, overlooking the mountains. A great position to look down the road and track the German offensive coming out their main base. The rest of the squad 5, looking like they're going to try to defend the north, with squad 6 looking to go into northeast to defend any flanks. We've got a big VDP push coming straight out of their main base, followed by some armor as well. Strong assertive push coming straight south. They've got a tank rolling out here, a P2. Devastating tank. This is going to be chewing through that infantry for the defenders. It's going to be at least 4-5 minutes before the French get a armored support for themselves to the field. So the infantry from LBF are going to have a very hard time here dealing with these tanks early on from the Germans. Everyone knows Chapter 2 maps favored for the French. The French tanks are pretty much invulnerable at the moment. Not completely. There are ways to take them out. But the one thing the Germans have in these Chapter 2 maps to their advantage is speed. Let's just open up that map again and see the positions going from here. So you can see the commander along with squad 5 and 2 for the Germans with that P2 in support, looking to push in north of the cap immediately. Then over to the west, we have a transport vehicle and a second squad followed from the MSP over on the, what would this be, the western side. Sorry, I always get my, my directions mixed up between east and west. So that MSP funneling infantry from here for VDP on the attack, trying to get into the mountains, trying to take out this heightened defensive squad here, this infantry squad. Open up the map again, and we can see there's armor coming out from the French. They have an MSP, 2 tanks, a command car, a second MSP. Looks like he got stuck for a second, and also a Logi truck. We can also see there's a Logi truck for VDP, has gone around squad 3 there, it's flanked all the way west, sorry, probably looking to get a fob up as fast as possible to assert this pressure. There goes the fob, as we mentioned, and we're just going to fly over and have a look at VDP's mortar as well. Keep an eye on infantry. Yep, everyone is on the right team so far. I just have to keep an eye for when people connect to make sure they're on the right teams. Time on board, 41 minutes, plenty of time. On the mortars, we've got a 2-man mortar team here. We've got Heisenberg and Cavendish. Mortars here. Mortars on the Chapter 2 map are so devastating. Considering how slow the gunplay is for a Chapter 2 map, obviously it's mostly bolt action rifles in the Chapter 2 maps. Having mortars on these big open areas are very devastating. So good use from VDP using those mortars there. Let's head up back over to cap. You see VDP still with this big northern push here. That P2 slowly advancing, cutting through the defenders here on the north side. OBF asserting their defense as best they can here, but they're being pressed very heavily into the cap as this VDP infantry offensive continues. Those mortars raining down as well, doing a devastating job on the defenders here. But the longer VDP take on the attack here, the longer the LBF infantry hold out, the sooner those tanks are going to arrive. And those French tanks might sway the battle here. Time on board, 40 minutes. You can see players are slowly starting to join. We had a few latecomers. I have to keep checking just to make sure everyone is on the right team. That P2 is going to be so devastating. Interesting that VDP have only used one tank so far. They've only got one 2-man tank squad. It is a 2-man tank. Obviously, these Chapter 2 tanks for the Germans are not as effective. Oh, and there goes an AT rifle trying to pen the P2. The AT rifles are going to have a really hard job. AT rifles are really not effective against tanks on this map. You can hear artillery. I would imagine this might be VDP artillery looking to bomb out the defenders. You can see Glutwood over here got his binoculars out. He's doing a good job in a great position. Look how much visibility, and there comes the artillery. One kill with the artillery already. Well placed. Dwayne the Rock Johnson, our celebrity player, goes down. You've got Teddy Campbell there. Interesting that he's retired from professional football. He's now a post-scriptum player. So we had a mix of smokes and artillery. One kill, not hugely effective, but the defense here is looking very thin. You can see the French tank. Oh, and they've brought out the big boy, the B1, the Goliath French heavy. This is going to be so hard for VDP to deal with. They're going to need some kind of big cannon to take this out. 88 placement, potentially. I don't think there's any German tanks that can pen the B1 in Chapter 2. They're going to need to get logistics on this, or HE with mines. We've got the P2 rolling forward. P2, B1. Who's going to win? And there goes the P2. Drove over a logistics mine, I believe. P2 goes down. French now have armor superiority on cap. LBF doing a good job here on defense so far. We had someone join. Bus One. I believe Bus One might be a French player. I'm just waiting for the tank to load. I'll keep an eye on it, but I'm pretty sure he's a French player for LBF. VDP doing a good job here. They have gone cap. You can see Bjorn below me, Lulz, Robert, and Igor. They've all gone to cap, but that B1 has arrived. That B1's going to start doing some devastating work here. It hasn't got a powerful gun, but the fact that it's just basically a mobile bunker, it's going to be very hard for VDP to deal with. I would imagine a Stuka or artillery will be used to deal with this. You can see SDH trying to go on cap. Most of the infantry defense have actually gone down. Most of VDP, the LBF infantry, have actually gone down. VDP doing a good job here. You can hear artillery. Artillery landing a little bit. Gee, Buzzwan got disconnected, unfortunately. So he actually didn't even make it into the game. Artillery coming down. Not hugely effective artillery from LBF, but it probably put a little bit of pressure on. You can see the B1 still here, still in the battle. It's actually going into the woods, trying to clear out the woods. It's getting in deeper, getting involved, and who can blame it? How do you deal with the B1? Well, I imagine you've either got to use your Pioneer magnetic mines, or you've got to suicide bomb it with a logistics. And aside from that, you only really have the 88mm or the commander assets. Stuka coming in. Stuka, you can tell that Stuka was placed for the B1, but the B1, you know, using its knowledge there, not staying in the same spot, making sure it's moving around, staying active. Not going to be pinned down for too long. Looking at the map again, we'll open up the map. You can actually see a squad 1 from VDP has managed to flank around. From here, you can see QMR, along with other members. I'm not going to pronounce any of those names. Abraham Lincoln over there, flanking in here. They've actually taken out Glutwood. You can remember Glutwood was that reconnaissance infantryman who had himself in such a good position, giving him great visibility of the entire battle. He's been taken out. Meemail there, trying to get into his position, looking for who took him out. Over back onto the battle now. You can see LBF's infantry on defense have regathered themselves. They've pushed back into the camp. The camp is still in French hands. LBF reforming their infantry, reorganizing, and they've done a good job pushing out this initial Zerg, this initial blitzkrieg from VDP. VDP still not out of it, so you can see all the rallies there from VDP. They have their rallies down. They have an MSP also down nearby the camp. They're able to keep pouring bodies onto this as fast as they can. using that initial speed, that initial blitzkrieg they need to use on this map. Over on the mountains here, you can see Squad 6 and Squad 2 from both sides have been battling through the mountains here. I imagine this has been an intense infantry battle. One squad from both sides, 2 in total, battling through the hillsides here, battling through the bushes and tree lines. I imagine this has been an intense battle from Squad 2 from LBF and Squad 6 from VDP. Just checking again. Yep, all players still on the right sides. Fanta 007 here. James Bond pushing forward. He's got his Walter P... What's it? The Walter P38 out. K Nut has gone down. James Bond under pressure here. Fighting off the Germans as best he can. A couple of grenades have gone out. He's got a full German squad. One grenade takes a little bit of splash damage on Eco. Second grenade lands on Vinny. Vinny's going to be bleeding out. Fanta's going to bandage himself now. Now, what an intense battle we've got going on through the mountains there. We've got Euro Frazo goes down. K-Nut goes down. Sam Dinnis here right in front of 007 Radio Man for VDP. It's in a bush right in front of Fanta. Look at this. Fanta with his Walter out. And we've got Sam with his pistol out as well. Well, good battle going on here. And Fanta goes down, sprayed in back. You can see this VDP squad has managed to take over this overlooking French farming hamlet here, which granted great visibility over the battle. They're going to hold that up now. That's going to give them great visibility over the battle. It's also going to cut off any reinforcements from LBF here. Going back to the intense battle on the ground here, full cap. You can see those mortars. Those mortars still doing incredible damage over here. Look at all the kills being hit by these mortars. You've got Laws and Igar moving in again. Teddy Campbell under pressure. Gunful under pressure there. Bombing run came down. That bombing run, it was aimed for the MSP, but it was slightly off target. You can see where the bombing icons were called. Just landing just eastern of the MSP. We've got a new tank on the field. We've got Diago and Cambu in a Stug 3. Stug 3, completely useless tank if you ask me. But in Chapter 2, it doesn't really matter. It's still going to be capable against infantry. It also has smokes. That's one thing you got to realize from the German tanks in Chapter 2. Their tanks, a few of them have smokes, which can be a big help. As the tanks on this layers on these chapters are really more about infantry support, if anything. German tanks are really more focused on infantry support than straight up tank battles here. You've got the B1. The B1's not even taking a scratch yet. Look at it. Just driving through the tree lines here. This Goliath in the woods. Surrounded by infantry. And you've got to be thinking as a German infantryman, how do I deal with this? There's the Stug. The Stug landing at one shot. Minimal damage, though. In fact, no damage. Just a clear bounce. And again, as infantry, how do you deal with this as the Germans? How do you deal with this absolute land Goliath? This battleship of the land? You really can't. The only way you can deal with this is really you've got to place down those HE charges, or you've got to get your logistics teams to get in there and just basically suicide it. Fanta 07 has connected. Let me just make sure he's on the right team. He got put on the wrong team. Fanta. There we go. Fanta's been... Oh, no. Sorry. There we go. Oh, my God. There we go. Stug there putting down some smokes, and those are the smokes we were talking about. The Stug trying to blind the B1 maybe, trying to help the infantry. And look at this, we've got the B1 pushing forward on the Stug. Bounce from the Stug. The B1 using its speed. Look at this. Have you ever seen a B1 move so fast? Handbrake turn. Private John. Red Puppy. Bounce there on the Stug. We've really got... I mean, the B1's doing what it needs to do. The Stug is heavily armored at the front. The B1 does need to get to the rear of the Stug to be able to pen it. I don't think the Stug is going to be able to pen the B1 at all. So the B1's using its speed, trying to get onto the rear of the Stug. The Stug is doing a good job of playing ballet with the B1, making sure the B1 doesn't get to the rear to immobilize it. There's an ATR shot. The AT rifle bouncing off that B1. The B1 just like, I don't give a crap. I'm getting out of here. Great driving there from John Bassel and Red Puppy. Oh, no, they've got... Did they just land in a ditch? Or no, they paused temporarily to blast some infantry. Bjorn, Robert, Aoyasta pinned now between French infantry and the B1. The cap, very much in the balance. VDP is getting infantry on the cap as fast as they can. LBF keep trying to reinforce it. We have this intense battle on the hills as well, south of the camp. You can see VDP here trying to cut off the mountain reinforcements, trying to put back this mountain overwatch squads, and they're doing a good job slowly starting to encircle around the camp. They have to deal with that B1 though. If that B1 doesn't go down, VDP is going to be in a constant back and forth having to deal with this tank. It's all coming down to the French army here. Time on board, 29 minutes. Still plenty of time in this game. Over half an hour to be played. You can see that Stug and ATR, they're trying to deal with this B1. The Stug goes down. You can see Bree there. I believe Bree was a logistics AT mine. ATR mine kit. You can see Hans there. Hans, come on Hans. Hans, Booby, place the mine. Oh, it's a HE. He's trying to place a HE charge. The HE charge won't be good enough. Obviously, the HE charger, I believe, is a 10-second timer. He placed it, but the B1's not sticking around. The B1's getting out there. So that HE charge might actually backfire and kill some of his own team there. Hans, run away. Run away, Hans. Run away. What? Ooh, I honestly don't know how that didn't team kill anyone there. But yeah, this B1 is completely indestructible. What the teams can do here is they can build an 88. Because if you see this from the Germans, if the Germans built up an 88 here with a logistics, an 88 placed cannon right here would be enough to take out that B1. There is no one over watching this angle. If a logistics can sneak over here, place down an 88 millimeter cannon, a pack, they could take out that B1. All the LBF infantry, they're either focused on dealing with the woods here on the north, or they're fighting over the mountains here in the south. So all it would take is one German Logi come place down that 88, take out the B1, and you're likely going to take that first cap. B1 still having the yoke of the battle here, just driving around, not a care in the world, not a scratch on it, just paint scratches at the moment. It doesn't care. It's just driving around. Not a care in the world. There we go, Godmen on the right side now. Artillery, I heard the artillery. That's going to be VDP artillery. Smokes included. Getting a couple of kills there. Zhang and Fool goes down. And look at this VDP infantry push coming in. That B1 needs to come back and support the infantry. There is no LBF infantry on the cap now. And VDP have pulled forward a full squad, almost 2 squads here on the cap. And the cap is going to start being neutralized. Artillery coming down. Artillery being exchanged. That is going to be LBF artillery trying to take out the rallies. It actually took out one of the rallies, I believe. Well-placed artillery. Lords goes down. The B1 out of position here, not on cap, and VDP is going to start neutralizing this. They have bodies on cap. LBF have been pushed off temporarily. Also, the squads over here on the mountains are holding back the reinforcements from LBF. VDP looking strong here. You can see a smoke screen going down there. I believe that's going to be VDP mortars trying to blind and kill LBF. That B1 is looking to try support on the cliffs here now. It is probably being called out. And there it is. The cap's been neutralized. Boys de Villas has been neutralized. The B1's changed its direction now. It's moving back to support the first cap. LBF in trouble here. LBF in trouble here as VDP push bodies on point. We've got a tank over here. We've got a second French tank. I believe that's going to be a Panhard. Or a Renault 30... No, it is a... Oh, I always get these French tanks. Is it a Soman? A Samon? Very light, agile tank there. It's not the lightest, but it's chasing a... it's actually chasing an MSP. So you've got a French light tank chasing after a German MSP there. VDP looks like their infantry has been wiped out on cap. The B1 returned. Look at that B1. The B1 rolled straight through. You can see the path of bodies, the path of destruction the B1 took. And this is going to be the hindrance here for VDP. They need to deal with this B1. This B1 is everything now. They need to get a Stuka, artillery, or even just an AT gun placed. They can take out this B1. That B1 is going to be the clutch here for the LBF infantry. You can see Hans. Hans is a pioneer. a couple of infantry spawning on this MSP. It's because the MSP in the north and all those rallies were compromised temporarily. There's only 2 rallies up here now, so they're having to spawn on the MSP to the west. The second MSP flanked all the way around, but it's being chased. That tank constantly chased that MSP, and the tank was found. My cameras completely came to a halt. There we go, speeding up again, and the MSP from VDP has been taken out. The MSP that went around on the flank, Diego, is over here. He tried to save the MSP, but the MSP for the Germans, for the VDP, has gone down. That French tank, so there's now 2 French tanks on the board for LBF. This is going to be so hard for VDP to deal with. Those French tanks are just so destructive, so immortal to deal with. The only ways to take them out is either commander assets, the 88 placed logistics gun, or you just have to suicide mine it with logistics AT mines. We have seen Chapter 2 maps played in prior seasons. We saw a Chapter 2 map played in Season 2, and French tanks played a big part in it. But what we saw in Chapter 2 in Season 2 is that there were teams who found tactics to deal with French tanks, and we actually saw attacking teams win against the French defense with those tanks. Speaking of defense, LBF have taken back the cap. It is back in French hands. It's no longer neutralized. That B1 is still alive. You can see ATR rifles chasing it down, trying to deal any damage they can to it. They're just struggling so much. And the mountainside has been reclaimed for the most part by LBF. They have number supremacy over the mountains now. They're pushing back the VDP infantry here. You see that rally there is going to be going offline any second, as there's LBF infantry right next to it. So VDP temporarily losing the fight in the South Mountains here. It's not over though. Plenty of time on the board. 23 minutes. VDP still have this. Interesting to see that VDP, I don't believe, are utilizing any tanks at this point. I think they've switched away from using German tanks and they've gone all into heavies. If that's the case, I would say that's probably a bit of a mistake there from VDP. VDP should still be using their tanks. If they have a 222 or a P2, those German tanks are still great infantry support, and they're still hard to deal with. They're not as invulnerable as the French tanks, but those German tanks are still mostly invulnerable to infantry. So having a small tank squad would still be useful here for the Germans. ATR rifles, and you just see those ATR rifles are just so ineffective against the big French heavy tanks. No damage at all. And there he goes. That is what we were talking about side there. AT logistics class. B1 goes down just like that. One mine, and that's it. The B1 is down. This could be the change in the battle that VDP needs. The B1, the heavy, has gone down. French have lost their tank support. Is the Soma still alive? The Soma is still alive, but it's way out of position. VDP, infantry presence now. They have infantry supremacy on cap. They even have Al Yasser, who is commander for the VDP, on cap as well. Speeding up the cap process. Mortars going down as well, doing a good job getting the kills with those mortars from VDP. VDP might be about to take the first cap here. Fool goes down, he gets hit by a grenade. Direct grenade takes him down. Look at the amount of infantry support. I would say this infantry very gathered though. One grenade or mortars or artillery is going to take out all the infantry. They need to spread a little bit. They need the space. Beyond there, getting one kill. Lenny almost going down. Lenny getting bled out there a little bit, but he's still alive. LBF still have infantry. Good. Look at these mortars again. There's going to be so many mortar kills at the end of this. The cap has been neutralized. Bois de Villas has been neutralized by VDP. And they're looking very strong. They still have number supremacy over cap. Look at LBF. LBF trying to get reinforcements. They're giving up the South Mountains. They're trying to throw an extra body on cap. Extra squad trying to stop the neutralizing of the cap. Trying to win it back. Open up the map. You can see blue still controls. There's still more blue in the cap than there is red. VDP. Also, their commander is on cap. That's going to give them a speed and a capture bonus to take this first cap. LBF not looking forward. Artillery coming down. And this is what we mentioned. VDP was so gathered, so clustered together. This artillery strike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kills with this artillery strike. Oh, and a bunch of three friendly kills there. And they took the cap. VDP took the cap. a bunch of friendly kills there, and VDP have taken the first cap. Time 35 minutes. Tickets are equal. Tickets are equal at this point, completely equal. So this is going to come down to entirely the caps at this point. There's the tank, the Soma. I believe there's a Soma. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the blue tank for the French is called the Soma. I could be wrong. I always get confused with the French Chapter 2 tanks. Big smoke screen came down at the end as well, but good job by VDP taking that first cap. Now LBF need to come up with a new strategy on defense here. What is going to be their strategy on the defense? You can see they've got an infantry squad in the mountains still. It looks like they're going to hold the mountains, and most of their team, they've got, I would say this is about 3 infantry squads starting to spawn on the second cap. You can see there's been a repair crane built on this cap. They still have some supplies left. They have that AT gun as well. They have an AT placement. They have the, sorry, it's the AT truck. Very strong truck. This truck here, don't think this truck is just a weak transport vehicle. This is probably the best transport classed vehicle in the game. This cannon is actually the most powerful artillery piece the French have. This cannon can pierce any German tank. It packs such a heavy punch. There is no French tank that has a more powerful gun in Chapter 2 than that. So yeah, do not count that truck out as just a basic transport truck. I heard, speaking of gun there, I think, is that another AT gun? So yeah, we've got a second. Look at this. Look how well placed this AT gun is. Such a good place for this AT gun. Look, they're hidden in the tree lands here, firing through the trees. It's got the log in front of it, acting as a little bit of cover there. Very well placed AT gun. That's going to give it great coverage over the incoming German attackers. You can see the VDP infantry here is pressed. They're getting hit. They're getting hit by the AT gun on one side, and then on the other side, they've got the Soma. And is that another AT gun? That is 2 AT guns. Another well-placed AT gun. Look at this. Completely sandwiching the German infantry. Beautiful crossfire there is completely sandwiching the VDP infantry. You gotta love to see that. That is well coordinated AT gun placements there, completely suppressing the VDP as they push forward. You can see just the red health bars constantly as they push forward. VDP with a risky MSP here. Look how brave this MSP is, driving straight towards. I mean, that is some big brain play if I've ever seen one there. I'm pretty sure that might be a war crime. And RB is RB. I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting. Oh, and RB goes down there. Unfortunately, I mean, that is some interesting VDP tactics there. Very interesting VDP tactics. I saw a player join. It looks like all players are still assigned correctly, so that is beautiful. That was some interesting tactics there from the VDP. I'm glad we caught that. Maybe a war crime, but hey, it worked out for them. Now they've got an MSP south of the cap on the hillside. That's going to allow for VDP infantry to push along the mountainside here, the cliffside, clear out all the defense along the hillside, and give them great visibility over the battle below. I saw a new French tank heading towards the battle. What is it? So they've already lost 1B1. It is one of my favorite tanks. It is an S-rated tank, an S-class tank. It is an S-class tank, and you can see why. If that doesn't confirm this is an S-class tank, nothing will, man. It is the Renault, my favorite tank, one of my favorite tanks in the game. It is fast, it is mobile, it is basically a go-kart. Its gun is powerful enough to kill every German tank as well if you know where to shoot. It is so fun to drive as well. It is an incredible tank, and it's moving itself into a good position, and it's looking like it's already spotted infantry. It is. It's already putting some shots down range. You can see that VDP infantry there, hiding in the bushes nearby. They know there's a tank rolling on. That MSP was destroyed. I mean, it was a very brave MSP. You see that VDP infantry in position. They know there's a tank. And look at this tank sneaking through. The Renault 35, I believe it's called. Is it the Renault 35 or 38? I always get the numbers confused. One of my favorite tanks in the game. I absolutely love it. If you've not drove that tank yet, I highly recommend driving that tank. It is basically like you're driving a go-kart. It is so fun to drive. You can do 360 spins so easily on it. It turns so nicely. The only thing you got to watch out is it likes to roll over, as you saw. The boss over here with his AT gun still doing excellent suppressive fire there, putting shots down range, using all the HE artillery, well-placed LBF artillery as well. Oh no, good kill there, landed perfectly in the trench, gets a bunch of infantry kills there. So one well-placed shell by that AT barrage, doing a good job there. And here comes the Renault. The Renault putting itself in position on the mountain. Look at the angle of fire this Renault has now. It's able to rain down suppressive fire over all the infantry in front of it if it wants. Stuka coming in. Stuka landing on the AT gun of Harnelo. The AT gun is still live. His truck was destroyed. He was taken out in the process as well. Lost a leg, lost an arm, turned into a bit of a zombie. The AT gun is still live though. That AT gun is still effective. They can get back on it anytime. VDP with a big infantry push coming in from the mountain side here, the cliff side, trying to flank around, deal with this LBF infantry. You can see a VDP squad there also flanking around, trying to cut behind the defense here. Just checking again. Yep, everyone is in position. Time on board, 28 minutes. Still plenty of time for VDP to take this cap. They are slowly advancing through the battlefield. They're slowly taking ground. They have to deal with these French tanks, though. That is the thing. That Renault 38 is going to be so hard to deal with. Again, they need to get logistics on that, or they need to get a tank of their own. Ooh, big shot there by the Renault, getting a bunch of infantry kills in the trench line. I would say the Germans need to bring their tanks out again. The German tanks can actually kill the Renault 35 or 38. They can kill if they have a P4 or a P3, even a 222 or a P2. They can actually pen that tank. So it would be worthwhile for them to get a tank on the field again to deal with that. Oh, they do. Speaking of tank, there's a tank. We've got a German tank back on the field. What tank is it? Is it a? I always get confused. Is it the P3 or the P4? I believe it's the P4. Someone in Twitch chat can shout at me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the P4. The heaviest tank the Germans have on the Chapter 2 maps. It is able to kill the Renault. The Renault can also kill this tank, so this tank isn't immortal. It needs to watch out. It's still got a hard task against it. Also with those AT guns. Speaking of those AT guns, Vittel over here has managed to break into the defense over here. He's immobilized the boss's AT gun for time being. Sergeant Kyle McRae. He's trying to keep it alive. He killed Vittel, so they're going to be able to get that AT gun back online. VDP flanking in the south here as well to try to get on cap. Mortars coming down. We can also hear, I believe this is the Samoa. Mustang landed on top of the hill. And yeah, look at this place for this tank over here. What a great spot for this tank. Perfectly placed on this little mound. It gives it... Look at this angle of fire just over the top of the building, hidden by all the bushes. It's got its spotter out here. Perfect for a two-man crew. I got a friendly kill there. Killed his commander, but it's fine. What a spot for that tank. And this is what I'm talking about with these competitive teams. They will find these unique spots, these power positions on the map, and they will utilize them well. With the P4, the P4's in a fight with the Renault. Actually, the P4 is completely surrounded. It's getting hit. Its engine goes out. The Renault pierces the engine of the P4. The P4 is getting shot by the Renault and also the Samo. Diego is actually trapped inside. Look, they're actually stuck in this ditch. And there goes the P4. I told you that it might have a small cannon, but hey, size isn't everything. It's how you utilize it. And this is why it is an S-class tank. So the P4 goes down there, trapped in a ditch, sandwiched on both sides. Really unfortunate there. Again, it's not the size. It's not the size of the cannon, it's how you use it, boys. Just remember that. Meanwhile, we had that Mustang come down on the mountain over here on the cliffside. LBF have reclaimed control of this overlook here. They've cleared out the infantry. You can see Ego, Lenny, Abby there, all clearing it out. There's that VDP rally right here, right in front of Renault. Renault might spot it. There's a big infantry wave coming in here. Those shots, the Renault must have hit. Yep, the Renault turns towards those gunshots. It's heard them. And this is just going to be a shooting gallery for the Renault here. There's one. There's two. There's 2.5. It didn't spot the rally. There's 3. Only Sam left. Oh, and here comes Side again. Is he going to try to get his second tank kill? And there goes the Renault 38. Destroyed the rally in the process, mind you. The rally goes down. Side getting his second French tank kill of the game. Speaking of the game, though, we need to talk about these caps. And VDP infantry have actually broken into the cap. You can see SCH here and Lauren have managed to get into the cap. They actually have superiority on the cap. LBF have actually fallen asleep on the cap here a little bit. Oh, and the artillery comes down there from LBF. Gets the kill on Lauren, on SCH. Well-placed artillery there by LBF, clearing out a lot of the attackers, but at the same time there's still no defenders on cap for LBF. They need to get some infantry on cap, or else VDP is just going to walk in again. Can we just give credit to LBF this game? LBF have utilized so many artillery pieces this game. They've had the 2 AT guns, they've had the 2 tanks, they've had the AT truck. They've utilized every single artillery piece they have in their arsenal this game. They've had perfect angles of crossfire. It's been a beautiful display of artillery placements by LBF on the defense this game so far. I've had a couple of disconnects, people disconnecting and reconnecting. It's in the nature. I just have to keep checking. Meanwhile, 23 minutes on the board. Tickets are still equal. You can see 372 to 382. LBF do have the advantage at this point in tickets by 10. We'll have to see how long that lasts. You can see the Soma's moving. Its location may be spotted. It's moving off. It's actually lost one of its crew. You can see Red Puppy is running to get back with his tank. VDP pushing north of the cap here, slowly pushing down. You got Dark and Hans here. Dark goes down. Okay, Zebulon came back, just checking he was placed on the right team. Perfect. LBF getting some bodies back on cap, and VDP with a flank. Another brave MSP from VDP. These MSPs have been so brave. They've actually drove next to one of the, oh, it's just a French transport. I thought that was a French MSP. They're going to try to blow it up, but all those gunshots, those gunshots are just given away. And there's so much Samoa, and there goes that MSP. VDP with another brave MSP, but it got spotted. The Soma retreating from its position. You can see they're trying to take out this this transport vehicle, but the French transport vehicles, they might be very slow. The French transport vehicles, they're incredibly slow. They're the slowest transport vehicles in the game. But similar to the American transport vehicles in Chapter 3, they're indestructible to small arms fire. You need to use explosives to take them out, such as a heavy ordnance satchel or a tank, planes, etc. VDP mounting a big infantry offensive coming in here from the north. Artillery and smoke screens going down. They're mounting an offensive coming in down here. You got Sensei has managed to get back on that AT going on the north, on the south side in the tree lines here, giving him great visibility. Look at all the infantry kills like this guy's gonna able to get with this thing. I'll just hide nameplates for a second. Oh, he's got off it. He's got off it. Maybe given the order that he needs to rush over to support the cap because there is a big infantry push coming in from VDP. VDP pushing in heavily here from the north. SCH, Hans, Red, Gunson leading the charge, following from that smoke screen. SCH is going to be the first one to come in. He hears the Fanta mortar in front of him. Vanta goes down. Artillery, well-placed artillery placement by LBF again. Again, a couple of infantry kills there, stalling the attack a little bit from VDP. But VDP have numbers on cap. Can they keep it up, or are they going to take the second cap? This is where they could do with some more armor support again. VDP mounting another offensive over here towards the west. They've got a second MSP up. They're looking to reclaim the cliffside again. They're starting with the small destroyed farming hamlet there, and they're most likely going to flank around and try to encircle the cap. VDP currently have number supremacy over the cap. They currently have number supremacy over the cap. Hanelo getting another 80 gun here, trying to flip it, trying to get it into action. That's Soma coming back into action there, doing a good job. But VDP, like I said, they have number supremacy over the cap. They're going to be neutralizing this. Glutwood is the only one there. Just double check, make sure people are on the right side again. Soma rushing in now, trying to help support the cap as fast as he can. Trying to clear out the infantry here. Ming Fun is on the right side as well. And the cap has been neutralized. The second cap has been neutralized. But there is no armor support here for VDP. And there's no way for them to deal with that tank. Unless they call in a Stuka or call in artillery. And look at that tank. That tank is already getting kills here. Mendez and Hans goes down. Red. He's having a nap. Alpha and SDH are the only ones alive at the moment. Looks like the tank is getting up to the repair crane, looking to rearm. The tank's actually been active since the very start of the game, so I'm not surprised it actually has to rearm now. It's probably very low on ordnance. Look at VDP here, though. VDP doing a good job moving around, moving down the south cliffside here around the cap. They've completely cleared the south here, look, and they can continue pushing all the way down until they're in line with the cap itself. LBF have been pushed all the way back on the southern side here, and VDP are still pushing in strong from the north. Smoke screen coming down now on the cap. Ineffective, not a great smoke screen. Time on board, 18 minutes. Time is running out for VDP here. They need to take this second cap quickly if they want this battle to continue. There goes the snowmower. The Soma. Ooh, almost nice little drift there. Handbrake turn, almost flipping. And look at the LBF infantry. The LBF infantry pushing in on the cap, clearing them out. SDH being surrounded slowly. Teddy executed with his pistol. And the cap has been defended. It is back in LBF hands. Good push by VDP, but they just didn't have the reinforcements and the armor support they needed. These French tanks have been a constant thorn in the side here for LBF. They need to keep dealing with them. They need to get their logistics team to come up with a plan to deal with these more effectively. VDP doing a big infantry push down here the south side, though. You can see all the blue names pushing through the south mountain side here. I'll just open the map so you can see it. Pushing down, slowly pushing the LBF infantry away from the cap. We've got Side over here. Side is the man who's been taking out these French tanks with his AT mines. He's very close to a French MSP, I believe. He's very close to a French MSP. He must know there's something in the area. He's trying to find it, but he's just missed it. It's hidden in those bushes. If he took out that French MSP, that would have been a big loss there from LBF, because they've actually been utilizing that MSP quite often to keep reinforcing the south cliffside here. VDP still in this game. 16 minutes. They're still showing potential. Tickets are equal. They still have plenty of time, and they're showing promise of taking this. Marcus Oath, Hans, Vittel, Lucas. Look how close all these individuals are. Cal McCree. Bam. Executed again. He gets sprayed down. A little bit of karma there. You got Ashajajara. He gets sprayed down by Lucas. Artillery, we have artillery in the South Mountains. It sounded like it was a small 4-round barrage. Probably VDP artillery trying to clear out some of the defenders here. You can see LBF have done a good job. They sent an infantry squad back to counter this push coming in from LBF on the south side through the cliffside. Kind of a stalemate here, a little bit of back and forth in the South Mountains here. But side, he spotted the MSP. He finally found it. You can see Ash the Pike. He was trying to come save the MSP, but side has taken it down. He's been doing a good job this game. 2 tanks and now an MSP that we've seen him take out, keeping his team in this. VDP, they're getting numbers on cap again. There is no LBF infantry on the cap again, and VDP, they only have 2 people on cap. But hey, it's enough to start the neutralizing process. That's all you need. As long as you have 1 more than the other team, that's all you need. Sergeant Leo Major here with his AT gun in such a well-placed position again, putting those suppressive shots downrange, dealing with the infantry that is pushing in from the north side here. Frederick takes a shot straight direct there. VDP have managed to flank behind though. They've got a second fob up to the east, and they're starting to encircle the cap a little bit. They're starting to encircle the cap. They're starting to push LBF into the cap more and more, taking map control. You can see LBF pushing bodies forward yet again. Godson goes down. We can hear artillery being called again. I imagine this is probably going to be LBF artillery. Just make sure everyone's on it, because we had a few more disconnects again and reconnects. Just making sure people are on the right teams. VDP with a big push coming in from the north side again. They've got an infantry squad trying to push in on the north side. They've got infantry supremacy on cap. They are still neutralizing. Smoke screen coming in. Well-placed smoke screen. That would have been VDP smoke screens. Got a kill. Also blinding LBF infantry. Smoke's being thrown back and forth. VDP control the south of cap. LBF, oh sorry, the north of cap. LBF pushing in from the south of cap. We've got a close range infantry battle going on now. VDP still have no answer to the tank though in the south. They need to get armor support themselves in the south here, or they need to get the logistics over here to deal with that Soma tank. A lot of LBF infantry went down then. Got Lauren on the other side of the bush. Fanta's trying to spray through. Lauren with the flank. Pistol in hand. Fanta goes down. Sensei, squad leader there. And Elk, squad leader as well, pushing in. Lauren is under a lot of pressure here with his pistol. He's trying to fight off a swarm of infantry all on his own. He gets the kill on Elk. He flanked forward then when no one was watching. VDP still have numbers on cap. The neutralizing process is going to be happening. Time on board, 12 minutes. There's still plenty of time. Mimo gets the kill there. Lauren heard it. Oh, unfortunate their team kill takes down Lauren. Artillery strike. Meantime, though, look at this well-placed artillery strike. Got a bunch of kills on the LBF defenders there. Well-placed south of the cap in the tree line. The cap has been neutralized. Can VDP keep up this pressure? Can they take it? 12 minutes on the board. That Soma tank, I believe it just found one of the German MSPs. Oh, no, it was just the command car for Al Yazza. You can see Al Yazza there trying to rush to the cap. He's commander. He's trying to help speed up the cap process. That French tank is rushing in behind. Al Yazza running for his life there. Well-placed artillery strike. Look at that artillery strike, though, from LBF. Completely wipes out VDP infantry that was capping. SCH, Red, Foos, Vital, Kilroy. They all went down to a well-placed artillery strike there. And LBF are retaking the cap yet again. Such a back and forth. And now that French tank coming in from behind, it spotted the rally. It sat right next to the rally. El Yasser is under trouble. He's trying to smoke. Actually, maybe he didn't spot the rally. He didn't quite spot the rally, but he got a bunch of kills on the VDP infantry, shooting them in the back there as I was pushing forward. Look, open up the map. You can see LBF on the defense have supremacy over the cap yet again. That tank rushing in from behind. bunch of kills there. The rally to the left is going to be holding down that rally. ATR rifles, no shot, no job, and there goes one of the rallies. So the VDP push here in the north is going to be completely held back now. And this tank is going to get a bunch more kills here. As VDP infantry have no answer to this right now. They need to get their logistics teams over here to deal with this. They still have bodies on cap. They're still contesting it. The cap is neutralized. They're doing a good job winning the gunfights here. They win the gunfights, but it's just when those tank supports come in for the LBF defense, there's just no answer for VDP. They just have no answer to deal with those French tanks. Time, 10 minutes. The cap is still neutralized. VDP have supremacy in numbers on cap yet again. So the cap is slowly being neutralized. But the reinforcements from VDP has been cut off by that tank. And LBF are just funneling more and more defenders in. Let's open the map and get a good look at the battlefield. You can see most of VDP are pushing in from the north of cap now. They've given up on the south side. There is a deep flank coming in from the east with that fob, but that is going to be so far. It's going to be so long until they get there because of the distance. It's not going to be really effective. You still have the AT cannon placed in here. I love how there's been different individuals on this AT cannon. It's not been one person. They've taken different people on this AT gun constantly to make sure it's in the battle constantly. And it's doing such a good job. Ego is now the one on it. Gets a kill on Alpha there, suppressing VDP infantry as they push forward here. Another 2 kills for that AT gun. Incredible job there. VDP, they have their commander on point, but so do LBFL. LBF also have their commander on point. We had a couple of people drop, unfortunately. But you can see El Julo there, LBF commander for this game. He's on cap now. El Yaza, commander for VDP. Both commanders on cap, trying to win this for their sides. That tank is just doing devastating work here, just cutting down the infantry as they push in. Fanta rejoined for LBF. He's on the right side, so we don't need to change him. VDP is still trying to get infantry on point, but there is just no answer to this tank. Artillery on the cap now, or a Stuka would actually be perfect, but obviously El Yaza has no radio. And he gets hit by a grenade. Artillery on the cap now would be perfect. And the French have taken it back. It is back in LBF hands. Yeah, a Stuka at this point on cap or artillery would be the perfect time for VDP. I believe that is the AT gun. Oh, no. Is it the AT gun? No, it's just a normal transport vehicle. Jess there, I believe he's the one who's been placing mines. He's been looking for MSPs and FOBs on the French side, on the LBF side. Time on board, 7 minutes, and this isn't looking good for VDP at this point. They're still pushing with infantry. They've got a push coming in on the north now, trying to flank around. We just saw a rally go down there, and a rally got hit down by VDP. The LBF tank pushing forward now. Looking to cut off the reinforcements again, and there it is. It spotted the VDP infantry pushing forward. Frizio there pinned. Kilroy pinned. Sam pinned. All pinned in this ditch line. You see the French tank trying to land shots inside the ditch. Lauren, big brain, ran to the other side of the road while the tank wasn't looking. It's like, all right, you guys are stuck in the ditch. I'm just going to go to the other side of the road. See you later. Good job there by Lauren. And the LBF pushing more and more bodies onto the cap now in the late stages of this game. 5 minutes left, and you can tell LBF, look at all the squads now from LBF are on cap. good artillery low. This might backfire here for LBF. All that infantry we saw rushing on the cap has just been completely wiped out by a well-placed VDP artillery strike. LBF would try and secure the cap at this late stage, just putting bodies on it to make sure they don't lose it in the last 5 minutes. And that well-placed artillery strike, how many kills was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That might be the biggest artillery kill we've seen this game, this season. Huge artillery placement. It's just a shame VDP have nothing to follow it up with. They don't have a big push to push in off that. Time is running out. LBF, they're just respawning. They've got those rallies nearby. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 rallies all next to the cap now. And look at them all pushing on the cap again. LBF are just making sure they don't lose the cap in the last 5 minutes now. 4 minutes left in the game. LBF pushing everybody they can onto the second cap. Tickets wise, completely even. It's been completely even throughout this entire game. LBF calling down a Mustang, getting a couple of team kills there. And El Juno got disconnected. I'm hoping he wasn't banned for team kills. That would be unfortunate if he was. And LBF just pushing more and more bodies on cap. I think VDP has lost a little bit of their steam at this point. They're trying this deep flank, and it might pay off. I mean, there's still time left in this battle. We've got VDP pushing through the south here. If they can find all these rallies, and you can see Lucas has found one of them. One rally's going to go down. If this flanking squad here from VDP can find all these rallies, I mean, that might be enough time to quickly switch things over if VDP can keep a big mounted infantry push coming in here. I'm just watching these people. They're all being they got disconnected, but they're all joining back on the correct team, so that's good. Yeah, they all rejoined on the correct team, so that's perfect. That Soma, though, has been alive this entire game. I just heard it take out another vehicle there. LBF, their infantry. The rest of their rallies, please tell me they spotted these rallies. Yet 2 more rallies go down here for LBF. 3 minutes left on the board. VDP can take this cap. They've taken out all the defender rallies. They've taken out every single defended rally bar 1. That means any LBF infantry are going to have to spawn now on the 3rd cap or the MSP next to the 3rd cap. If VDP can keep up this pressure, there is no defender rallies nearby. Lucas, he's setting up, and there goes the last rally. Every single LBF rally has gone down. Time on the board, just over 2 minutes. Can VDP mount a successful assault in the last stage of the game here? They've taken out every single rally for LBF. I don't think there's going to be enough VDP infantry to get on cap, though, in time. Especially with that tank. You can see side is that logistic. He's trying to take out that tank. I don't think VDP are going to have enough time to get bodies on point. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Can they do it? Got Lucas pushing forward here. He goes down. Frederick, pistol in hand, gets a kill. Abraham Lincoln, trade there. Oh, Frederick there got taken out. Elke actually got a team kill there, unfortunate for him. Less than 2 minutes, unless they use their commander, unless El Yaza gets on cap, that is going to be GG. 2 minutes is the time it takes to take a cap, unless you have your commander, which speeds it up by, I believe, about 30 seconds. But yeah, that is going to be GG. LBF are going to hold on to the 2nd cap. Very close game, very tight game. You can tell by the tickets. This has been a very balanced game from both sides. A very balanced game from both sides here. Let me just make sure the next map is ready. Stone, because we're going to be playing the 2nd map here, ladies and gentlemen. We're playing both matches here tonight, LBF and VDP are playing both their matches tonight. So after this, there will be a 10-minute break before we get into the second-minute match. What a close game, though. And just like to the very end, the tickets are so even. And now the Soma goes down a little bit too late there. Finally, the Soma goes down there. If only it went down maybe 20 minutes earlier, we could have a different result right now. 30 seconds left on the game. Beautiful game played by both teams. Came down to the very end. VDP took the first cap, so close to taking the second cap, so close on tickets. It's just those French tanks sealed it. Can VDP match this now into game 2, or will LBF come out on top? 3 seconds left. GG to the teams there. LBF win on the defense. VDP, excellent job on the attack. They took one cap. They almost took it. So close on tickets. We're going to be going to the second game now. As always, if you watch this on YouTube, please remember to like. Please remember to subscribe. And I'll see you in the second match. Goodbye, YouTube.